Welcome back, another brand new episode of The Gifted, and this is The Gifted Talkers. We're here again, ready to break down this new episode, unMoored, I believe it is called, which is a weird name, and I don't really understand it. I don't even know what moored means, but, maybe we'll get into that. Maybe my co-host here knows what it means. His name is, of course, Quad C. Wait a minute. It's Quad X.
That's right. It's Quad X here for Gifted Talkers. We are on episode 2 of season 2, and man, it was a good episode. I thought it was a really good one. So
it really was. I liked it.
And especially, we talked at the end of last week that we were going to get like a fighting scene, some sort of like fight club with like Thunderbird, and already they just decided to throw that in there. So
as the flashback, absolutely.
Yeah.
I, of course, am the ETCW World Heavyweight Champion of the world, not just the city, but the world. Your boy, the Jersey Jackass, B to the C. What's going on? Hit me up on all social media at RealJackassBC, RealJackassBC. You can find Matt at Move the Joystick.
I got it. Okay, so, unMoored. Just Googled it to try to figure out what that title meant.
Yeah.
So, it's to release the moorings of, like, a vessel or something.
Ah.
So, I think it's because unMoored is basically about Andy, unmooring himself from the family.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I like that. That's good. That works a little more then. That makes sense.
Yeah.
See, that's why I can always count on you to know intelligent things, because I don't know intelligent things.
Or at least to Google it.
Exactly. So, like you said, we do open up with a flashback of Thunderbird in a very Wolverine-esque fight.
It was extremely Wolverine. It was like Wolverine with like drugs, but Wolverine nonetheless.
In a nice little fight club.
Yes.
And him taking on, it was 2 or 3 people?
This is whatever. It was guys with sledgehammers.
Yeah.
There was more than one, so I'm assuming 2.
Yeah, he was going to war with them, and he's getting his butt kicked till he's kind of like, all right, that's it, I'm done with this. Turns it around, boom, let's go. And then we are reintroduced again to Evangeline Whedon.
Yeah.
Who I actually looked up this time. I know who she is now.
Okay.
She is the X-Men's lawyer, and her mutant power is she can shapeshift into a giant dragon.
I think we talked about that. At least, I know I talked about it with Rob. So, yeah, a giant dragon. That was pretty cool, too, whenever she, changed parts and all of a sudden you saw that whole puff of smoke. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that was pretty dope.
But, I almost wonder, has Thunderbird become, our Wolverine, in a way? But not a begrudging Wolverine, but, an actual, Wolverine who accepts his position as leader?
I think so, yeah. I think that's where we are, and that's kind of the position we have here. If you look at it, if you're going to take it in the aspect of the mutants, our mutant underground being the new X-Men.
Yeah.
Thunderbird's kind of our Wolverine. Mm-hmm. Marcos is obviously our Scott, our Cyclops.
Mm-hmm.
And Polaris is kind of like the Jean Grey.
Jean Grey right there, yeah.
Who is all phoenixed out at the moment. Yeah. And then, obviously Lauren's kind of our Jubilee.
I would have gone with Rogue, but...
I look more for the comics. And the Rogue in the movies was actually Jubilee.
What? I mean, you can say that
because in the comics, Rogue
very different characters.
But in the comics, Rogue was more of a badass fighter. Let's go.
Yeah.
And Jubilee was the teenager girl that came in, and she was just kind of trying to find her own way.
Yeah, you're right. You're right in that aspect. But I think,
and I say comics, I kind of mean more the animated series.
The animated series, of course.
So
still, Jubilee had the most useless power ever. But fireworks.
Fireworks were dope.
Pachoo, pachoo, pachoo. So, what would that make Andy?
I will continue to love this and liken Andy to Pyro.
Oh, okay.
And I hope that he really embraces it and goes kind of full Pyro.
Yeah.
Because and we're going to get into a little bit of that later on with this episode. So, we do jump into Riva and the Cuckoos talking. And Esma, one of them, seems like all of a sudden she's not really on board with killing random people.
And that surprised me because I thought they were of a hive mind.
Yeah.
So I thought they all just kind of were of one mind. And it's showing signs that no, they're not really. And I like how they talk to each other, by the way, where it's the blinking lights between each other. I thought that was really cool.
It is. I did really like that. So Reva's telling him, we got to go. We got to stop these. We got to take care of everybody. Mm-hmm. Everyone we just paid off. Which kind of like, did you get the money back? Did you just give them money and then go on about your business?
How much money was in that suitcase too? Because like, homeboy was trying to buy a freaking plane.
He was.
Like, really?
Was there that much money?
I did not see that much money.
To be fair...
I would need several briefcases to order my own plane.
Well, to be fair, if we've learned anything, $100 million in a briefcase, if we've learned from Dodgeball, is really just, like one little stack.
This is one stack, yeah. That's all.
You're good.
Yeah.
Right there, bro. That's all it really is.
Right.
It's kind of underwhelming once you find out from Dodgeball. But, so we're going to send Esma to take care of all these. Meanwhile, we find out baby bro, Andy, is having the same dreams that Lauren's having.
I was hoping this was going to happen just because it didn't make sense if they had this like connection that suddenly only she had the connection and he never saw it. Mm-hmm. But in this one, we saw a little bit further of where it goes, and that Lauren falls over.
I don't know if she falls over or if she kind of dives over. It looks like she's trying her damnedest to get away, and she'd rather dive off here, kill herself, rather than help Andy kill all these millions of people.
But she wouldn't kill herself because. What reason I say that is because she has that ability to just make air, just give her like a pillow or something, some sort of barrier. So that's why I was like, that's why you don't see her on the side of the street. Instead, she saved herself and she's gone already.
You get this feeling that maybe what we're going to do is as the episodes go on, that dream will get more and more and more, and we'll keep seeing more parts to it.
Yeah, maybe, but I don't know where else you can go with that. Just because she's fallen over.
Yeah.
So, okay,
well, I think
next part of the dream, he's running to go find her?
Well, I think the next part is she'll see it from that point of view where she falls over and what exactly happens when she falls over.
Yeah.
Maybe just the next little snippet.
But I don't want it to be like they have, future sight or anything like that. Like, if they have future sight between each other and, seeing where they're going to eventually end up, okay, fine, whatever. But, for future sight to see, now Polaris is here. Oh, well, now this guy's here.
Yeah, I agree. I hope you're right, and I hope it's not anything too much like that.
Yeah.
So, moving on, Turner is back.
Yeah.
He's completely out that life.
He went in a direction I didn't see coming.
No.
Yeah.
No, he just kind of bailed out that life, and he's still kind of...
He's going to come back.
He's feeling it. He got the bug.
Yeah.
As us in the wrestling business, he's got the bug. He's feeling it. He wants to get in there one last match.
Right.
And one last match always turns into multiple last matches.
Undertaker.
And apparently Shawn Michaels.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
I have not watched all of Raw yet. So
God. Okay.
Good to know.
Well, I mean, they don't announce anything.
Oh, they don't.
You could just tell that this is where we're going.
They always do that.
Yeah.
They did that 2 years ago in the Royal Rumble. It's like, oh yeah, guys, maybe I should go into the Royal Rumble, but I'm not. I'm retired.
Well, you know what? That's a whole other show.
Okay, sorry.
So
anyway,
but yeah, so Turner, wifey not wanting him to jump back into this life.
I really liked this. Mm-hmm. Out of all the plot points, this was probably the one that I was like, oh. Okay, I like this.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because all too often, it's one of those things where, this one guy, his wife or significant other will come up and be like, you can't do this anymore. Think about us. Think about this new family we want to create. And then the guy's like, screw it. I'm not going to do it. I'm actually going to, do everything behind your back. He's probably going there. He's most definitely going to do that. But I like this scene where he's at least trying to put it all behind him. There's going to be some event that he's going to be like, all right, no, I gotta go do this.
Exactly.
But I think for now, I like that he made that conscious decision to do this for his family. But it's so gonna the writing's on the wall. He is gonna go back to that life.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and I agree. He goes to meet with I guess a member of the Sentinel Services who we've seen a couple times. I don't really know. If
I didn't remember who he was at all.
Yeah, but and I don't know if it's the Sentinel Services have gotten soft or what, but they're just like, nah, man, let this go. Let it. I don't know if it's part of a plot point that they're just kind of trying to keep him out of it. If this guy has ulterior motives,
I don't know.
or if it's just that Sentinel Service is soft and they're like, nah, man, it's cool. It wasn't even mutant related.
Honestly, I feel like it was just bad acting on that one dude's part
You
and
think?
bad direction, because it almost seemed like that guy was trying to like help the mutants, or he was part of the inner circle, and he was just like, "Don't get caught up in conspiracy theories, man."
Exactly.
And then meanwhile, Turner's like, "Oh, okay, I shouldn't get caught up in conspiracy theories. All right." Alright.
Oh, meanwhile, Thunderblink is waking up. They're having a good time. And Blink is kind of telling him, hey, you know, you do need to go see this lawyer chick again. See if maybe she helped you once before. Maybe she can help you again. We can find out where Polaris is, where the inner circle is, what's going on with them. And we get the second part of the flashback there with the chain to the bed, right? And that's what that one was.
Yeah, which I didn't expect that, because they just threw drugs in there for some reason. He was like, "Oh, he took pills to help the pain." I'm like,
well, they showed that a little in the flashback. You can see the pill bottle.
Oh,
next to
okay.
him, and
Okay.
he-
I just thought
and then goes for the beer.
drugs or the
Yeah.
drinks, the beer. But yeah, so
I remember that because I was my toothache was starting to really hurt, and I was like, "Oh, I wonder what those are. But they could really help me." Yeah.
Sorry, buddy.
So-
Should probably get that checked out at the dentist.
Oh, I did. It's apparently I have high blood pressure. There's nothing they can do about it. So.
I wonder why you have high blood pressure.
Yeah, me too.
So weird. So high, so low. So high, so low. Anyway, yeah, so that was an interesting part where you had to see that he went through withdrawals. And watching that, and then, you know, fast forwarding to the end where you see him, like, you know, punching that truck. I almost wonder if this is going to be a story arc.
Yeah.
If he's going to relapse in some way. And maybe that's why him and Blink have some sort of, like, issue.
Yeah,
some sort of drama in their relationship.
I think that is something that will show up at some point.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's them planting seeds for later on.
Yeah. I mean, the first few episodes
Because-
of every season
yeah.
is just planting seeds.
Yes. And I think that we have our fighting couple right now, which is obviously mom and dad.
Oh my god, yeah.
Because they are not getting along.
No.
And mom is just the stubbornest, dumbest person I've ever met.
He left! Well, shouldn't we, like, you know, yeah, he left, you know. Well, shouldn't we go after him? I mean, he left.
He's the bad guy. No. And they're trying
I'm doing
so
this
hard.
for my family. You would do this if it was your daughter.
I did like that aspect because it's like, what if it was Daddy's little girl, and you know it has Lauren in the other room, kind of listening to it, and you're like, I see that relationship there though.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense.
It is kind of the way that they do, like, boys are treated versus girls are.
Exactly.
Because boys, it's like, oh, he's made his choice, he's gonna go. Boys will be boys.
And that's dad saying that.
Right. And then if it's a girl, it's like, oh no, she's out there all alone. We have to help her.
Yes.
You know, so it's. I understand the dichotomy of it, and it is a frustrating thing in this, you know, 2018 world. But I do like that they threw that out there too. Yeah, you're right. I did like that. It's just, I don't know, like that whole fight just seems so unnecessary in a way. Hi, R2. It just seems so unnecessary in a way.
I think it's kind of just to further. I think we're gonna hit a breaking point. Something's gonna happen between the family there, and I think it's all gonna boil over with Dad's new powers, which are
disintegration of some sort.
At first I kind of thought it was fire and it was melting stuff, but after I saw it, it didn't look exactly like that's what was going on. So I'm not 100%.
Kind of liked it though.
I did too.
It was like pretty sweet.
I like how it kind of fuses through his arms to his hands.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty sweet.
Kind of like an effect they kind of used to do with Silver Surfer in the second Fantastic Four movie. How it originates from his board and will go all the way through his body and then boom.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You didn't see that?
Well, I don't know what Fantastic Four 2 is.
You didn't see Rise of the Silver Surfer?
Nah, I don't think anyone saw that movie.
I did. I own it. I actually really like it.
What they do with Galactus is terrible.
Oh yeah, the poo cloud thing.
Awful.
Yeah, the poo clouds are never. It's never good to fight a poo
We must
cloud.
always not remember that movie for the poo cloud.
But that's how I kind of see it. Like he brings all the power in and bah.
Yeah.
And right now it's just kind of.
For me though, that fight just seemed so out of place.
Yeah.
I want to say just because it seemed like they were okay in the first episode. I mean, not necessarily in a great place, but not at the point where it was boiling over like that.
Yeah.
That moment was. Like, that was the culmination of, like, so many things we haven't seen.
Yeah.
Like, the way that she was like, the way you go and just hide yourself in that room and that sort of thing. I'm like, that's like an episode 3 or 4 thing that you should tell us about. Like, let us see more of like, you trying to, like, go reach to him and he's just like, I gotta go. And then goes over to his little room and then hides in the cave.
Yeah.
Like, alright, but instead you've only given us that one. You haven't even given us that. It was like we've had one episode where he was like, trying to help people and that sort of thing, and then suddenly it's like, you're not here for your family.
Well, I think that also kind of has a lot to do with how fast-paced this show is.
Yeah.
We don't do 22 episodes, if I'm mistaken. I think it's, once again, only 12 or 13 episodes. Mm-hmm. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm pretty sure we're running pretty quick, just like we did in season 1.
Yeah.
So we go back over to the Cuckoos, who are now cleaning up their mess. Or not mess, but cleaning up. Fade, I forgot that Fade went with them.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was his name whenever she was like, Fade, you're up. I was like, who is Fade?
And then, dude, him just appearing and choking, I was like, oh. And then she's like, all right, Bulk, go. I'm like, oh, what is Bulk's power? And then there's just an explosion, so I'm like, well, did he use a bomb? What did he do? Like,
Bulk's ability is to walk into places, set charges, and then walk out and blow them up.
And I was looking for Skull to show up with them.
Yeah,
sure.
Sure.
You can't have Bulk without Skull. And then that was getting kind of dark with the Cuckoos actually sending Homie to walk into the plane.
Yeah, until the car
I did love that interaction right there, where the two of them were like, "Well, you're no fun." So that's call me soft.
Yeah.
But that was still kind of a dark little.
It was moment. I didn't expect the car. I thought he was just going to keep on walking, and then they were just going to fade to black, or just cut to black real quick.
Yeah, I was on the edge of my seat, like, what's going to happen here?
Yeah.
Are we really going to Indiana Jones this? Like, what is going on?
Yeah, it seemed pretty dicey for that guy.
Good pun. Good pun. And then we move into the Little Brother's training.
Yeah, so Andy's having problems because every time he gets that last wall, he keeps getting stopped with visions of his dream with Andy. Mm-hmm. Not Andy, with Lauren. Yeah, so that's, yeah.
And
it is kind of interesting, too, because you know how you have, like, walls in your mind? They always talk about that. Yeah. Like, this was all kind of
a wall that
he couldn't get through until the very end.
And I gotta say, he's very unathletic.
He is. He can't run.
He cannot run.
Not to save his life. And then whenever he runs and he goes, "Shah!" It's the most awkward thing ever.
Very awkward.
So awkward.
Then he runs right into... I mean, I would have just stopped.
Yeah, I know.
Like...
I mean, I guess if you expect the wall to just go after you've gone, wah.
Yeah, but still. I mean, it was very cartoony.
It was extremely cartoony.
I don't know who said this, but there was a line right around here that I really loved. Someone calls someone else the Lizard of Oz.
Oh, that was that.
It was when they go
Marco.
to meet. They go to meet the
lawyer.
The lawyer.
Yeah.
And she's like, "I can't help y'all. Y'all are fugitives." Yeah. And they're like, "Oh, you're just gonna hide here like the Lizard of Oz." That had me rolling.
I thought that was pretty good.
Like, that's clever.
Although I kind of almost feel like she was gonna like destroy him after that, and I was like, I guess not. I guess she's gonna be composed.
Yeah.
I just want to see the dragon. That's really all it is.
So she's not really willing to help them because they're fugitives and everything they're going through. They decide to leave, and Thunderbird says, "You know what? No, I'm going back."
Okay. So you're going to talk about when she goes back. Yeah.
So he goes back to deal with it again, and now she's just like, "Well, since you came back alone."
I know. Like, it's weird.
Let me go ahead and give you a name. Berg?
I think it was Berg. Yeah.
And tried to look up mutant Berg. Got nothing on it.
It's Iceberg.
Iceberg, yeah. That's probably...
No,
Goldberg is playing them, actually.
Gilberg.
Gilberg. No. So
maybe it's Burger.
Burger, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
She just said he
was hungry.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah, so that's pretty much going to unlock the door for the underground that they're going to show later.
So I have to go keep meeting people and doing all that, and man, they are really blaming them for Atlanta. Like I felt kind of bad.
Well, they were like, you failed in Atlanta. I'm like, how? How did they fail in Atlanta? They took down a building.
Well, as Lauren ends up saying later on, 15 people died. I assume they were actually like the, I don't know if it was the mutants.
I don't know either. Like, I don't know if she was talking about in that building or what. Because I think that's what bothers me a lot about the writing in the show, is that they just kind of throw things at you.
Yeah.
And it's so much that you don't know if you've actually seen that.
Yeah.
And they'll give you flashbacks to stuff you already know about, like when Thunderbird watched all those people die and all his friends and all the people leaving and that sort of thing. Like, we know that part. But yet, whenever they're talking about, 15 people died, they won't show you a flashback for that.
No. And we're trying to figure out who these people are.
Yeah, I could not.
Was it more soldiers? Was it mutants?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Should we care for the Sentinel services?
She seems very angry about it.
Yeah, who was in that building? I just can't remember.
All right, so we'll have 16 episodes this season.
Okay.
So that's a little bit more, but still, it's still fast paced. It's
It is.
less than the normal 22 episode arc.
Yeah.
So, speaking of Lauren and her little 15-minute, she's very woke this season.
She is.
And Natalie Allen Lind has such a grasp on this character. I really love how she that scene with her and Dad. Probably my favorite scene of the episode. I really enjoyed their interaction there and how they can talk to each other and how she's like, look, you think everything's just fine. Y'all ain't. Mom's trying to get Andy back, but y'all haven't once been like, yo, how's Lauren gonna feel about this?
Yeah.
And that's true. Because like they did. Like that was a intense segment there, and so I really like the emotion that she's able to display here.
Yeah, I thought that was a great one too, because you haven't ever really heard them ask about Lauren and how she feels about stuff. I mean, very rarely did they even do that in the first season. So it was fascinating to see that, and it's going to be interesting to see where they go from there. But it was a nice little moment for her. Yeah,
and it turn around right before that when Andy gets his little burner phone, tries to call. He's had his contact with Polaris. Polaris is saying, "Look, Reva got to know that you're all on board. Don't let her find out that you are having these feelings."
Yeah,
which I didn't expect. I kind of expected Polaris and him to have the heart to heart and talk it out. I didn't expect after the phone call for Reva to be the one that he talks it out with.
Yeah, I didn't expect that either, because I fully expected that there was going to be a moment where they try to get his trust, try to gain his trust. And they didn't do that. Instead, they were like, okay, let's go in a direction of he just confides in her. And it just seemed like a strange progression of trust. And maybe it was a conversation he had with Polaris. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. But that was a pretty good moment for him to just say, oh, this is what's going on. And even I like the look on Reva's face when she was like, "Oh, okay, well, we're out.
I do not have to kill you
about this.
I was literally about to kill you, but now you want to tell me about it, so never mind. We'll be good." And I did really like that, and I like that he came clear to her. I want the relationship between Polaris and Andy to be a very strong brother sister type relationship because he's obviously in want and need of that bond that he had with Lauren. And it not being there, I like that Polaris and him are able to turn to each other, like they were in episode 1, where they were really watching each other's back, and I think that should be Andy's number one focus at all time, is watching their back.
Yeah, in this episode, he wasn't really watching her back this go around. Yeah, although she watched his.
Yes.
So there was that symbiotic relationship, like in the first episode.
Yeah.
So I like that. I think because at the end of this episode, whenever Dawn gets sick, I think Andy needs to be the first one to run in there, and then we're really going to continue that relationship.
Absolutely. And so, speaking of that moment, Marcos is putting up the bat signal after having a little bit of champagne.
The Polaris signal.
The Polaris signal. Polaris is telling Dawn, "Hey, Daddy's saying hi," and you even looked at that little. I don't know if it was an actual baby, if that was a doll.
It seemed like a baby.
It seemed like a baby, but it was. I was like, man, that baby does really look sick. Like he does not look happy at all. She does not.
I mean, in my mind, I thought it was a baby that was just sleeping, and then she put her head, and I was like, "Oh, okay, the baby's sick now." I guess.
And then we end right then and there.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you saw the preview.
I sure did.
You sure did. Well, tell me a little bit about it.
So what happens in next episode is that they actually get Marcos and bring him into the inner circle. And Reva tells him, like, plain right up front, you are going to come in, you are going to help this baby, and then you are going to leave.
Who?
Marcos.
Marcos, okay.
Yeah. So Marcos comes in, holds his baby, showing him, like, putting light on the baby and stuff like that, and saying, oh, it's so beautiful, and then trying to tell Polaris, you need to come with me. And then the cuckoos are like, you got to get the hell out. So that's basically what goes down.
Okay.
He fights the cuckoos and I think knocks most of them out. So it's going to be a pretty intense moment.
Interesting. Okay. See, I meant to go ahead and look it up, but I started watching SmackDown and forgot to. So
It's a good excuse, I guess.
Yeah. Things happen. When you have late nights, early mornings, you forget things.
Yeah.
So negatives. Anything you didn't like about this episode?
I mean, negatives obviously are the random stuff they throw at you that you don't know anything about.
Yeah.
And then I think the motivation behind the fight, like I guess my negative really is overall length of the series.
Yeah.
Because this show just seems like they need more time when they really don't. They really don't need more time. It's just I think that the showrunners are not as experienced, so it's just they need more time to tell certain stories because there's so many.
Lauren Shuler Donner is not more experienced, really?
I don't know who the showrunners are, but like I'm just saying, like they have so many different stories.
Yeah.
That so many things fall through the cracks. So you see their motivations of why they want to do this, but you've never seen how or what the reason is or what's going on. You get the mentality, but it just doesn't hit like it should.
Yeah. Okay. Well, with me, two negatives. One being, I don't like the cuckoos being able to separate each other and have different personalities.
Yeah, I didn't like that either.
I don't want to get to a point where one of them goes and joins a mutant.
Yeah, I didn't like how they had like the humanistic.
Yeah, I was like, no, you guys need to always be one.
Yeah.
And that kind of bothered me. And my other negative, they kind of fixed at the end, is I didn't like little bro having the dreams and being able to think, oh, maybe I want to. I don't like his I don't like him being hesitant.
Yeah, he shouldn't have doubt, but I like...
Especially this early.
I actually kind of like that they threw that out here now.
Yeah.
And
I like that they fixed it at the end, and the end he is stronger and
right, and
more
I think that was the vehicle for this, was so that way he could definitely... Oh, I do have a negative. So that way he could, for sure, be with the inner circle.
Yeah.
Like, no doubt in his mind, this is where he is, and so the audience understands, like, he's not going back. Yeah. He's not going back on his word.
It's kind of why, I think of him as Pyro, because once Pyro turned and joined Magneto, Pyro was all in.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'll kill any of the X-Men. I'll kill Professor X. And he's like, yo, calm down. Professor X is a good guy.
Chill.
Chill, bro. And so that's what I want from Andy. I didn't really want it to this quickly be, I miss my family. Yeah. I want it to be more, no, I don't miss them at all. And then slowly later on, it kind of seeps in a little.
Yeah.
And that's when the family goes, oh, wait a minute. Maybe there is a chance. Something like that.
I like the idea that he just doesn't want to go back, just in general, But I do have a strong negative, and it's something we didn't even touch on. That whole thing where the girl lost her sister, and then suddenly they just bring her back. They're like, oh, here she is. Yeah, she was at this other shelter. It's no big deal.
Everything's good. We're gonna take y'all somewhere else.
That was the most useless plot point. Yeah. Like, why was that even there? Was that just there to facilitate the idea that, oh, they still help mutants?
Yeah.
Okay, you could have done that in any other way and still made it to where it was a compelling, interesting storyline. Instead, you were like, oh, yeah, we'll resolve it. No big deal.
Yeah, it's fine. It's
so
over.
Fine.
It's over and done with. We're good. Jasmine and I forget the other one's name, but
yeah,
yeah,
it was
sure,
pointless. It's absolutely pointless.
So
when she said, "Oh well, we've heard someone that is like her description," I thought they were going to go over there, bring someone back, and it was going to be someone else and be like, "That's not my sister." Like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And then you get to the underground, and that's where she finds her sister. I'm like, okay, cool, I'm in for this. Like, I'm in. That facilitated a way to, bring her to the underground. All right, whatever, I'm good with this. It's fine. But for her to just end like nothing?
Yeah.
Like, why? Why was it even here?
All right, so let's get into some predictions real quick before we get up out of here.
Yes.
Me personally, I think where we're headed, and now that you tell me, what the preview actually says, it's going to focus this a little more. We are going to focus a lot more on the kid next episode. Kids get sick. They get sick a lot early on. I'm pretty sure.
Kids have like zero immune systems.
Exactly. So it makes it, but the fact that she's flipping out, I'm like, okay, you're just a mom.
Well, essentially, she's single mom. She's doing it on her own right now. Like, yeah.
I was kind of thinking they were going to go in and kind of take over like some kind of hospital or something. Like, yo, you need to fix the kid here.
They already did that.
Yeah. So, but instead, I see. Okay, so Marcos is gonna go there. I think somehow that's going to end up with a face-off with Lauren and Andy. Not the one we've seen of them fighting, but they're gonna come face to face.
I don't think so.
Because with Marcos having to go, like you said, having to go to them, I think it's gonna be a thing where the Mutant Underground has to go help him get out.
I don't think so. I don't think that they're gonna have. I don't think the Mutant Underground's gonna have anything to do with this episode.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be they take Marcos somewhere, wherever. He might be drunk on the street for all we know.
Yeah.
They take Marcos and they bring him there, and then they are like, "You got to get the hell out," because even in the previews, the kids are nowhere to be found. Like, that's why I think it's just Marcos.
The way I see it going down is the Cuckoos knowing where they are. They all know where the Mutant Underground is. They just don't have they don't want to deal with them right now. So it's going to be one of those things where they just show up there and they're like, no, F y'all, we're here for him.
Yeah. Maybe.
And it's and the baby's gonna die, so you're gonna come alone.
Could be
something like that,
yeah.
And that's why they're gonna agree. And Mom's gonna be like, "You gotta get Andy. You gotta get Andy." And Marcos is gonna go, "Look, Mom, look, he's gone. Let it freaking go. Let it go. Let it go.
I knew he was gonna.
Let it go."
Yeah.
So my review for Star is Born, is gonna go up a little later today.
Do you sing again?
Definitely sing.
Okay. All right.
Definitely.
Have fun. Enjoy that.
All right, Matt, put yourself over.
You can find me on all social media at Move the Joystick. And don't forget to find me on Cinelinx. I have reviews up. One for Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And I've also got another headset review coming shortly. So, yeah.
That's right. You can find me on all social media at RealJackSBC, RealJackAssBC. You can find me out in New York this weekend for New York Comic Con. I'm very excited to get out there, check everything out, although I'm going to have to miss the Longhorns and OU, which is... it's the first...
You don't really want to watch it.
It's the first time in 25 years, and we're actually playing a lot better. Well, the Sands, that second half was garbage. That was garbage second half. But I got reviews up right now, or not right now, but they will be up later today for The Hate U Give, as well as A Star is Born trailer reactions for Elton John's Rocket Man.
Yeah.
Man, that came out of nowhere. I didn't realize
really
it. I was excited. Spoiler alert, I was excited about it. And I have some interviews with the cast of Black Lightning going up all this weekend. One interview a day leading up to the premiere of Black Lightning. Plus, over on Cinelinx.com, pretty soon, our new contributor, Jay Washington, just had a set visit on the set of Black Lightning. So that's really cool.
Yeah,
we're going to have some information up about that. So be out watching for that. Make sure to check out Cinelinx.com. Check out It Is What It Is this weekend. A new episode of Go Home, which we are about to record. We're going to be talking about the Super Showdown. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. That thing's got matches and stuff. There's things on there. Who cares? Whatever. So
it's gonna be a great episode.
It is gonna be awesome. I do have some really cool not breaking news, but breaking rumor news that we're gonna talk about on the Super Showdown. So that's gonna be interesting to see. So until next time, guys, this has been Gifted Talkers, and
we don't have a close.
We don't. So goodbye.
Throw up the X. Throw up the X.